Hi class, this is the first video for week 3. What we're going to do now is configuring user and mailbox properties. So the first thing I did was I typed get user and it got a list of all my user accounts. If I specify get user and then specify one user account, I get just information about that user. And I'm just going to do Colton Burks. And I'll get information about that user account. If I didn't want to use the single quotes, I could put a backtick, which is under the tilde key, and that would escape the space character and save me having to type quotes around the entire name. Now, I'm getting a very small list. I'm getting very few details about this user account. If I wanted to get more information, I could do get user Colton Burks and pipe that over to into a command called format list. And that will give me a lot more information about that particular user. The system has something called aliases set up. I just typed alias. If I scroll up, I can see that there's an alias for format list called FS. And there's also one for select object called select. So instead of having to type select object or format list, I can just type the alias. Save yourself some typing. So if I wanted to, I could do get list, select, I'm just going to do it the full way for right now, object, property, and then I could say the phone and only see that one field. If I wanted to do the phone and the SAM account name, to view that, I could do select object, comma, SAM. And it would show me both of those items. I could then even format that, do format list to see that in a vertical list, something like that. In this case, it's going to be separated by a colon. Right now, my phone is blank. There's no phone value. If I wanted to set that value, I could do set user phone number I forgot to put the user account name. And set that information for the user. And again, if I wanted to view it, I'm going to go back up, select the objects that I want, and list and do a format list. I'm going to show you what the aliases in places. Instead of typing format list, I can type FL. Now here I'm using aliases. Now I can do the same thing with mailboxes. So I'm going to get mailbox for Colton Burks. And again, it gives me very limited information. If I pipe that over into format list, it gives me a much larger size, a much more detail. So I'm going to go to the top, and again, this is every field is going to be separated with a colon. If I don't want to see everything, I just want to see select items like the database field, it will just show me the database field. Or if I wanted to see it in a formatted list, I can do that. Now, any of these attributes I can actually configure. And the command to do that is set mailbox, the user account name. And I'm going to just do a custom attribute. That's one of everything in this list is going to be all the fields that you can set. So I'm just going to do a custom attribute and put in some data. So I just set that for that user account. Just to view it, I could do get mailbox, Colton Burks, select object. I only want to see the database field and the custom attribute field. There's a bunch of custom attribute field 1 through 20, I think. I only want to look at just the first one. And again, I want to put it in a formatted list format. And so I've entered this data in for that property. Okay, next what we're going to do is, I cleared my screen, guys, because I was testing something. Next what we're going to do is we're going to try to set an attribute for several users at one time. So I'm going to do this with the get mailbox command, but this will work with any get command. So I'm going to get mailbox, and I'm going to say where $_ database. The fields that I get from here, it's automatically assigned to this variable, $_ dot in the field name. So this is the variable for the database field. If I had a phone field, it would be $_ dot phone. And I'm going to compare that and see if the database field equals mail. So it's only going to show me where the database equals mail. So in this case, all these user accounts are using that database. For those accounts, I could pipe that into a set command. Set mailbox, office, sorry, not office, custom attribute 1 is test. I could change any of the fields that I wanted. I'm just choosing this custom attribute field just so I don't mess anything up. So what it's going to do is for all these user accounts that are using the mail database, it's going to set the custom attribute field to test. And get mailbox, I'm going to do it for Colton Burke again, or Kelly, it doesn't really matter. Select property, the field name, and again, I'm going to put it in a formatted list. And if I do it for Guy, I'll see the same thing. or Colton. So if you want to change, say, a department phone number for all your user accounts, um, we could do something like this. Set user. And if they're on that, if they're using that database, if their mailbox is stored in that database, no, actually, I don't have the database field. Let's do a get user. Get user. I'm going to look at it in a formatted list. So I'm looking for some common element. If they're part of that organizational unit, contoso.com/user, I'm going to set the phone number field for all those user accounts. So we're looking for organizational unit. I'm just going to copy it so I don't have to type it. Okay, let me pause the video 1 second. Okay, sorry, someone was at the door. So I'm going to just copy this so I don't have to type it out. So, and the value I'm looking for is contoso.com/users. So I'm going to do get users, pipe that to where $_ the field name, because that's the variable that's automatically assigned to that field, equals contoso.com/users. I believe it was a backslash. No, it's /. That will show me all the users in that organizational unit. Now I'm going to set user for all those user accounts. I'm going to set user and I'm going to, I think it was the phone number I said. I'm going to set all the phone numbers to so if I pick any of these user accounts, let's just say Guy Bean, get user Guy Bean, select object property is phone, formatted list. And if I do this for, let's say, the guest account. So if you had a bunch of people in one organizational unit, you could set one of those the value for one of these properties for all those user accounts just by querying for that organizational unit. You know, if, let's just say you had a North Campus organizational unit, everyone in that North Campus organizational unit, you can set something for. Okay, that's it for this video. I will try to create a new video here soon. Thank you.